Kenneth Pinion. The story of Kenneth Pinion, a 45-year-old Boeing engineer from Washington, is one of the most shocking and controversial cases involving human-animal interactions in modern history. Pinion, who operated under the pseudonym Mr. Hands, gained notoriety for his extreme and fatal encounters with a stallion. However, a lesser-known but equally disturbing aspect of his life involved an alleged intimate relationship with a lion, which ultimately led to his death. Kenneth Pinion was born on March 22, 1960, in Texas, later moving to Washington State, where he worked as an aeronautical engineer for Boeing. By all outward appearances, Pinion was a successful, intelligent, and private individual. However, beneath this facade lay a deeply secretive and dangerous sexual obsession with large animals, particularly horses and, as later revealed, big cats. Pinion's involvement in the underground world of bestiality, zoophilia, was initially exposed through his participation in a clandestine community that recorded and distributed graphic videos of humans engaging in sexual acts with animals. His alter ego, Mr. Hands, became infamous after a video surfaced showing him being fatally injured by a stallion. However, prior to his death in 2005, Pinion had also explored relationships with other animals, including a lion. Pinion was part of a secretive network of individuals who engaged in and filmed bestiality acts. While most of the documented evidence revolves around horses, testimonies from within the community suggest that Pinion had also experimented with other large animals, including a captive lion owned by an exotic animal breeder in the Pacific Northwest. According to leaked accounts from anonymous sources within the zoophile community, Pinion had developed an obsession with the power and dominance of big cats. He reportedly sought out an opportunity to interact intimately with a male lion kept in a private facility. The lion, a captive-bred animal used for breeding and exhibition, was said to be accustomed to human presence but not trained for such extreme interactions. Witnesses described Pinion's encounters with the lion as highly dangerous and reckless. Unlike horses, which can sometimes be conditioned to tolerate human advances, lions are apex predators with unpredictable instincts. Despite warnings from others in the community, Pinion allegedly pursued these encounters, believing he could establish a bond with the animal. Details of Pinion's death involving the lion remain murky, as much of the evidence was suppressed or destroyed to avoid legal repercussions for those involved. However, insider reports suggest that during one of his encounters, the lion, either provoked by Pinion's actions or simply reacting to perceived aggression, attacked him. The attack was described as brutal and instantaneous. Unlike his fatal horse incident, which was captured on video, no footage of the lion attack has ever surfaced. However, medical reports and anonymous testimonies indicate that Pinion suffered massive trauma, including deep lacerations, crushed bones, and fatal internal injuries. He reportedly died at the scene before emergency services could intervene. At the time of Pinion's death, Washington State had ambiguous laws regarding bestiality. His case, along with the infamous Mr. Hands video, prompted legislative changes, leading to the criminalization of bestiality in 2006. However, enforcement remains difficult due to the secretive nature of such activities. Pinion's case highlights severe ethical issues surrounding the exploitation of animals for sexual purposes. Big cats, like lions, are wild animals with instincts that cannot be suppressed, no matter how tame they may seem. Kenneth Pinion's life and death serve as a grim reminder of the extremes to which human fetishes can escalate. Denise Nicole Frazier. The case of Denise Nicole Frazier stands as one of the most disturbing animal cruelty and bestiality cases in recent Mississippi history. What began as anonymous tips about shocking social media content evolved into a full-blown criminal investigation revealing a pattern of horrific abuse against multiple dogs. In late February 2023, Frazier, then 19 years old, began recording herself engaging in sexual acts with dogs. The abuse occurred at multiple locations in Jones County, Mississippi. Frazier filmed herself inside a Jeep parked at Freedom Baptist Church in Myrick. Videos showed her having intercourse with a male German Shepherd. The footage included close-up shots lasting several minutes. She later uploaded portions to Snapchat with geotags showing the church location. Additional videos were recorded at a private residence. These showed Frazier with two different dogs, a pit bull mix and another German Shepherd. Some clips depicted her forcing the animals into sexual positions. Investigators noted signs of distress from the animals in the footage. Frazier didn't just record these acts, she actively shared them. Posted snippets to Snapchat with captions some described as bragging. Sent full videos to at least 3 individuals via direct message. Used cloud storage to preserve the footage, including iCloud backups. One recipient became disturbed and alerted authorities in April 2023. The Jones County Sheriff's Department launched an intensive investigation. Recovered deleted videos from Frazier's phone. Traced metadata confirming she was the filmer. Identified 3 distinct canine victims. All 3 dogs were located and removed from their environments. Veterinarians documented physical trauma in 2 cases. One German Shepherd required behavioral rehabilitation. Initial charges were aggravated animal cruelty, unnatural intercourse and bonds set at $25,000 with strict no animal contact order. Despite facing serious charges, Frazier continued her abusive behavior. New videos surface including footage from early 2024 showed Frazier, now pregnant, abusing another dog. She recorded in Forest County, violating her bond terms and appeared to involve a different German Shepherd. In her second arrest, Forest County authorities filed additional charges. Judge revoked her previous bond and held on $10,000 per charge. The case moved through Mississippi courts with multiple developments. At the beginning she pleaded not guilty, later she accepted plea deal on primary charges and finally agreed to testify about her actions. In January of 2025 during court, prosecutors presented graphic evidence. Animal behavior experts testified about trauma to dogs. Judge emphasized need for deterrence. Final sentence was 10 years total, including 4 to serve, 5 probation and 1 suspended. $2,615.51 in fines and court costs were charged. She was registered as mandatory sex offender. She got a lifetime ban on animal ownership. Forensic psychologists suggested several concerning factors including lack of remorse in initial interviews, history of risky sexual behavior, possible personality disorder indicators and escalation pattern typical of serious offenders. After the case, all involved dogs required specialized care. One was deemed unfit for adoption due to trauma. The case also sparked legislative review of bestiality laws. As of 2025, she is serving time at Central Mississippi Correctional Facility. She is reportedly in protective custody and eligible for parole in 2027. Love story of Malcolm Brenner and Dolly. Few stories have sparked as much controversy, fascination, and disbelief as that of Malcolm Brenner, a man who claimed to have engaged in a deeply intimate and sexual relationship with a bottlenose dolphin named Dolly. Brenner's story, which he detailed in his self-published memoir, Wet Goddess: Recollections of a Dolphin Lover, 2010, explores themes of interspecies communication, emotional bonding, and the blurred lines between love, obsession, and zoophilia. Malcolm Brenner, an American writer and former journalist who became infamous for his controversial relationship with a dolphin in the 1970s. Born in the mid-20th century, Brenner was a self-described free spirit who rejected conventional societal norms. He was deeply interested in marine life, psychology, and alternative lifestyles. Before his encounter with Dolly, Brenner had worked as a reporter and photographer, but his life took an unexpected turn when he began volunteering at a now-defunct Florida theme park, where he met the dolphin who would change his life. In the early 1970s, Brenner began visiting a small aquatic park where he interacted with dolphins as part of a research project on interspecies communication. It was there that he met Dolly, a young female bottlenose dolphin who immediately displayed unusual curiosity and affection toward him. Dolphins are known for their high intelligence, complex social behaviors, and, in some cases, sexual curiosity toward humans. Dolly was no exception. According to Brenner, their initial interactions were playful, with Dolly nudging him, rubbing against him, and even presenting her genital slit, a behavior dolphins sometimes use to initiate sexual contact. Brenner, intrigued by Dolly's advances, began spending more time with her, eventually developing what he described as a profound emotional and physical connection. Brenner claimed that Dolly was not just sexually interested in him but also emotionally attached. He described moments where she would vocalize in what seemed like distress when he left, and she would excitedly greet him upon his return. Dolphins are highly social creatures, capable of forming strong attachments, and Brenner believed that Dolly saw him as a mate or companion. The most controversial aspect of their relationship was its sexual nature. Brenner wrote in explicit detail about their encounters, describing how Dolly would initiate contact by pressing her body against him, leading to mutual stimulation. He claimed that she would guide his hands toward her genital slit and, in turn, would rub against him in a way that suggested pleasure. Brenner admitted that he reciprocated these interactions, engaging in what he considered consensual acts. He argued that because dolphins are sentient beings with their own sexual agency, their relationship was not exploitative but rather a mutual exchange. A key part of Brenner's narrative was his belief that he and Dolly communicated on a deep level. He described moments of apparent telepathic connection, where he felt Dolly could understand his emotions and vice versa. While such claims are scientifically unverified, they align with broader New Age beliefs about animal consciousness. Brenner's time with Dolly came to an abrupt end when the park's management discovered the nature of their interactions. Horrified, they banned him from the premises, effectively cutting off all contact between him and Dolly. According to Brenner, Dolly did not take the separation well. He claimed that she became depressed, refused food, and eventually died, an assertion that, if true, underscores the depth of their bond but also raises ethical concerns about human interference in animal lives. The loss of Dolly had a profound impact on Brenner. He spiraled into depression, struggled with substance abuse, and spent years grappling with guilt and confusion over what had happened. In his memoir, he described feeling as though he had lost a soulmate, further blurring the lines between love, obsession, and psychological disturbance. One of the most contentious debates surrounding Brenner's story is whether a dolphin or any animal can meaningfully consent to a sexual relationship with a human. While dolphins are highly intelligent and exhibit sexual behaviors, critics argue that humans hold power over captive animals, making true consent impossible. Brenner rejected the label of zoophile insisting that his relationship with Dolly was based on genuine emotional connection rather than mere fetishism. However, psychologists and ethicists remain divided on whether such relationships can ever be considered healthy or ethical. Dolly's captivity raises broader questions about marine parks and the psychological effects of confinement on intelligent creatures. Some argue that her attachment to Brenner may have been a result of her deprived environment rather than genuine affection. Brenner's story has been met with a mix of ridicule, fascination, and outrage. Media outlets have sensationalized it, while skeptics dismiss it as the delusion of a disturbed mind. However, his account has also sparked discussions about the nature of human-animal relationships, the ethics of interspecies interactions, and the intelligence and emotional capacity of dolphins. His memoir remains a polarizing work, with some readers viewing it as a tragic love story and others as a cautionary tale about human hubris.